So unfortunately, another name gets etched into the annals of American history and becomes a household name for all the wrong reasons. Iryna Zarutska, a 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee, murdered in cold blood, a horrific murder on a light train, public transportation in Charlotte, North Carolina. She came to the United States recently from war-torn Ukraine in hopes of a better life, a shot at the American dream. And instead, she pays the ultimate price because this sicko right here has been let loose time and time again by radical left progressives, district attorneys, lawmakers, public officials alike in Charlotte, North Carolina. DeCarlos Brown Jr. with a rap sheet dating back to 2011 and includes felony larceny robbery with a dangerous weapon and communicating threats, according to court records obtained by the New York Post. He even served 5 years in prison for armed robbery, only to be arrested for assaulting his sister. Months after he was arrested in September of 2020. This is according to the Daily Mail. Even his own brother says this could have been prevented if law enforcement kept him behind bars and did their job. I'm going to let Press Secretary Caroline Levitt for President Donald J. Trump, she addressed the media on Tuesday. She talked a little bit more about Brown and the tragic death of Zarutska and, of course, the way that the media or fake news, the wannabe activist propagandists, spin it their way, including this story, to fit the narrative. So without further ado, here's the White House press secretary.
Brown has been charged with crimes no fewer than 14 times, dating back to 2011, including for armed robbery, felony larceny, breaking and entering, and shoplifting. Brown had previously served 5 years in prison for a robbery with a deadly weapon charge, and he had also forfeited bonds 3 different times, twice in 2014 and once in 2023. Despite all of this past documented criminal history, when Brown was arrested yet again in January of this past year, a Democrat judge, I will add was a strong supporter of former Vice President Kamala Harris, released this insane criminal once again without requiring him to pay any bail. He simply had to sign a written promise to return for his court hearing. Think about how crazy it is to ask a career criminal, someone who by definition repeatedly breaks the law, to just sign a written promise and come back again another day. This is madness. This monster should have been locked up, and Iryna should still be alive. But Democrat politicians, liberal judges, and weak prosecutors would rather virtue signal than lock up criminals and protect their communities.
And again, Caroline Levitt says the operative words right there, virtue signaling. Interestingly enough, you see this headline right here. The mayor of Charlotte, Mayor Vi Lyles, ripped over woke response demanding compassion for madmen accused of slaughtering Ukrainian refugee Iryna Zarutska. So there you see the rad left. What do? They take the side of the maniac. This picture, as haunting as the video, which I'm going to cue up right now, this tells the story as a prelude to this horrific video. Take a look. Tragic. It took me about 3 times to watch the video in its entirety. I stopped it after a few seconds took a deep breath, was able to watch it. And there you see, in loving memory of Iryna Zarutska, lived May 22nd, 2002, August 22, 2025. She was buried on the 27th of August in North Carolina. In Washington, D.C., President Trump, from the Oval Office, had a message to the American people regarding her death, and to those local officials in Charlotte, North Carolina, the rad left, the progressives, POTUS 47, had this to say to you.
For too long, Americans have been forced to put up with Democrat-run cities that set loose savage, bloodthirsty criminals to prey on innocent people, really very, very innocent people. In every place, they control radical left judges, politicians, and activists, and they've adopted a policy of catch and release for thugs and killers. In Charlotte, North Carolina, we saw the results of these policies when a 23-year-old woman who came here from Ukraine met her bloody end on a public train. And here's a picture of it. This is the picture of it. And this is a picture of the woman, a beautiful young girl that never had problems in life, with a magnificent future in this country. And now she's dead. She was slaughtered by a deranged monster who was roaming free after 14 prior arrests, with a magnificent future in this country. And now she's dead. She was slaughtered by a deranged monster who was roaming free after 14 prior arrests.
And again, there is our president, the commander-in-chief, Donald J. Trump. And I say this far too often. I abuse this line from the movie Gladiator. What you do in life echoes in eternity. And though she left the world after only 23 years, you can see how loved this young lady was. This is from her employer, the Petties. And I'll read you just the top paragraph, then I'll skip to the bottom. Recently, our Zappetti's family suffered a tremendous loss. We lost not only an incredible employee, but a true friend. Our dear Iryna left this world way far too soon, and our hearts are heavy with grief. And at the bottom of the last two-sentence paragraph, Iryna, we miss you more than words can say. You will forever be in our hearts. And I'm hoping, as time goes on, the criminals will remain where they need to be, behind bars. And these radical left progressive maniacs in office, from being mayors to judges to law enforcement officials across the board, in cities like Charlotte, stop allowing the criminals to rule the roost. Iryna misses out on her chance for a future, and like I said, to live the American dream. Let's not cut someone else's opportunity short. As a society, we need to do the right thing. You need to lock the criminals up and let civilization live civilly. Again, rest in peace, Iryna.